message with you, Civility, the key to success in college. Do you know someone who's tied up, down, stuck in a position where they feel they simply cannot move? Someone who's tied up in being rude. Someone who's tied up in being mean. Someone who's tied up in trying to talk over everybody. Someone who's tied up in when they go to ask for help, they don't care about the other person. It's all about themselves. Do you know one person? You know what's even worse, ladies and gentlemen? Is to be a person tied up with civility issues and not even know it. What does the word civility mean to you? When someone says civility, what does that mean? Anyone? Yes. Respect. Okay, what does civility mean to you? Courteous. Courteous. Yes. Composed. Someone else. What does civility mean? Yes. Well-mannered. But oftentimes, ladies and gentlemen, when we come onto a college campus, or even out in the community, at a restaurant, at a movie theater, at a business place, sometimes we go in and we encounter, or we see, or we experience people who aren't civil, who aren't polite in their ways. And it was Ellen Gish who said that, you can go through life with bad manners, but life becomes much more easier when you go through life with good manners. And it's very important as you embark on your journey to increase your level of education here at Prince George's Community College, it's very important that you choose to have good manners, that you choose to be civil. Because if you don't, you'll end up like the knots that I showed you in the beginning. You'll end up all tied up in knots. I have one more. Using your telephone and texting during class. Using your telephone and texting during class. Okay. Now what I want you all to see with Dominique here, this is what happens to a student who has civility issues while on campus. And to also give you a few more examples that I've gotten while I've done this presentation at other colleges and universities: sleeping in class, leaving the room early as the professor or the teacher is still teaching, holding conversations while class is going on, people who decide to pack up in a noisy way before class ends. That's another example. Then you have people who get into disputes with other students because the student may have expressed themselves during class in a question and answer segment and the person doesn't agree with them, so they choose to get into a dispute and an argument with the person. One thing about college, ladies and gentlemen, is that people are different. People have different views, different opinions. They come from different walks of life, different lifestyles. So college is a place where a person can share their views and opinions openly, and you may not agree with them, but it's not your responsibility to disrupt the class by getting into an argument with the individual. Looking at the acronym Civility that you wrote down your page, and then we're going to begin to untie these knots for Dominique here, because she's been sitting here all tied up. And being tied up like this, she cannot perform at her best in class. She cannot stand out on campus. She cannot be considered for scholarships because she has all these issues. And like the quote said in the beginning, you can go through life with bad manners, but life becomes much easier when you choose to use good manners and to be courteous and polite. So the C in civility, ladies and gentlemen, stands for commit. Commit. You have to commit yourself to your college education. You have to commit yourself to conducting yourself like an adult, not like a brat, not like someone who's annoying, someone who's being rude, but like an adult who's accountable and responsible for your actions. Then the I stands for imagine. Imagine. Imagine how much easier life would be if you encountered everyone on each day who would act in a polite and courteous way. Everyone. Imagine that. But also imagine that by the time you're done here at Prince George's Community College, you've taken advantage of all the opportunities that you've had a chance to take advantage of. And imagine that not only yourself, but your professors, your advisors, and other faculty and staff members here at Prince George's Community College, they started to recommend you for scholarships and opportunities. They've also given you reference letters for when you go out to interview for jobs, because they felt that you were a person deserving of that, because you had good manners. You weren't rude. You were making things happen. So you have commit, you have